Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, car crashes into store at Allenstown gas station. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
On our double discount sale, you can save 20 to 40% off select floor samples.
New this morning, the Irving Circle K on Allenstown Road is closed this morning after a car drove into the building last night. Allenstown police say customers inside the store have minor injuries. It's not clear what caused the crash, but the store will be closed for the foreseeable future while repairs are made.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Report shows man killed in avalanche was skiing alone. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Most chimneys are used to vent your boiler or furnace, and these flues need to be inspected annually to prevent dangerous carbon monoxide leaks. HVAC technicians don't check them. That's our job. Call Caesar Chimney to schedule an inspection or visit checkmychimney.com.
The slide that took 32-year-old Nicholas Benedict's life was 130 feet wide with an average thickness of 18 inches. The Campton man was seen last Thursday in the Raymond Cataract. The report says he triggered the fatal avalanche. A snow ranger spotted a faint set of ski tracks just above where the avalanche started and picked up a beacon. Benedict's was located in a gully, buried in a sitting position, his head under about 30 inches of snow, according to the report. Rescue efforts were slowed by an ice block above him and the need to keep the snow from collapsing around Benedict's. Eventually, he was brought down the mountain, but succumbed to his injuries. The avalanche that claimed Benedict's life was just one of several. Last Thursday was a beautiful day, as this video shows, which comes with its own dangers, something known as blue sky syndrome.
We just take more risk when there's no wind and it's nice out and the snow's sparkling than we would if it was kind of a nasty day.
David Lotman has been teaching avalanche courses since 2001 and took this video. Despite his experience, Lotman ended up getting caught in an avalanche moments later.
As I dropped down a couple of feet, I glanced back up at the slope and recognized that the whole slope was now in motion and that it was a pretty sizable avalanche.
Lotman was able to use this tree to protect himself, but still ended up buried to his waist, his friends coming to help dig him out. Lotman says that's important to remember for anyone spending time in the backcountry. Never ski or hike alone. The Avalanche Center says as backcountry skiing grows in popularity, they will hope that more people will take the time to educate themselves about the dangers and always have someone watching from a safe location in case a rescue becomes necessary. In the studio, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Veteran crawls across finish line of Boston Marathon. Let's take a look at the video.
Crowds were cheering,
Both my legs locked up.
but Micah Herndon was struggling.
The mindset of a Marine, you finish it by yourself.
As other runners stop to help just feet from the finish line, he pushes on alone, crawling in pain determined to cross on his own.
The worst pain that I've ever experienced running.
It may have been the worst physical pain,
Ballard, he was one of my machine gunners.
but emotionally, Micah has struggled with devastating loss.
I watched my buddy get blown up on my 21st birthday.
He now runs with tags on his shoes to remember 2 friends and a journalist killed alongside him in Afghanistan.
One way for me to deal with everything is to get in my own zone, my own headspace, and just go. The reason why I run is for them.
The running has helped ease the weight of PTSD, and the Boston Marathon had always been in his sights. Even though his time of 3 hours and 38 minutes fell short of his goal, he hopes his powerful display of determination can help inspire others who may be struggling.
I will have setbacks in my life. I will go backwards, but it's how you respond going forward.
And Micah's from Ohio. He flies out tomorrow. Of course, he was in a lot of pain here today, but he says he's going to continue running because he considers running his therapy. We're live at the finish line tonight. John Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. "79 diagnosed with hepatitis A in New Hampshire since November. 1 death reported." Let's take a look at the video from WMUR News 9.
The Farnham Center in Manchester is working with the city's health department to protect its clients against hepatitis A.
And quite a few of the women's clients actually did obtain the vaccine.
While there's no specific treatment for the virus, there is a way to prevent it.
We have a very good vaccine. 1 dose of the vaccine is estimated to give about 95% of people immunity or protection against the infection.
The precautionary measure is being taken after state health officials announced the number of cases is on the rise in New Hampshire.
For the last 3 months, we've had 13 total hepatitis A cases. 7 of those were in January alone.
The virus can cause liver failure, even death. It typically spreads among the homeless and those dealing with substance misuse disorder, but anyone can contract it.
Hepatitis A is spread through fecal-oral transmission, which means people are exposed to it when they, most of the time, unknowingly ingest small amounts of the virus from contaminated food or drink or surfaces.
And it survives on surfaces for long periods of time. At-risk populations, in addition to young children and those with chronic liver disease, are urged to get a vaccine.
So it's just been remaining vigilant, informing them to wash their hands after utilizing the restroom, how it can be contracted overall.
Now, the Manchester Health Department says they're working with several other agencies to spread awareness and to give out that vaccine to high-risk groups. We're live in Manchester tonight. Kristen Carosa, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Shaheen in Afghanistan, Iraq to learn about peace negotiation. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Right now, as the United States prepares for peace negotiations between Afghanistan and the Taliban, Senator Jean Shaheen is in the Middle East. She's one of 3 senators visiting Afghanistan and Iraq. They've met with U.S. service members, the Afghan president, and prominent Afghan women. Shaheen says she's encouraged by the role women will play in peace negotiations. For the first time, they will be included in the Taliban's delegation.
Obviously, any peace negotiations have to be conditions-based, and I think we in the Senate will be watching very carefully what happens as a result of any ongoing discussions.
Peace talks will continue later this week, aimed at bringing an end to 17 years of war in Afghanistan.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Presidential candidates Warren, Buttigieg, O'Rourke, Williamson, Sewell, Weld head to New Hampshire this week. It's early in the week, but already 6 presidential candidates have booked appearances in the first in the nation primary state for later this week. Former U.S. Rep. Beto O'Rourke will return to the state for his second visit of his presidential campaign on Thursday and Friday, and Republican former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld will begin 2 days of campaign on Tuesday morning at local diners. Weld's visit comes on the heels of his formal announcement of his presidential candidacy on Monday evening. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren will return to New Hampshire on Saturday, while South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg will begin the state on Friday and Saturday. Meanwhile, spiritual literature and author Marianne Williamson will campaign in New Hampshire for 3 days on Tuesday through Thursday, and on Thursday, U.S. Rep. Eric Sewell will return to the state to participate in WMUR's Conversation with a Candidate series, which will air that evening at 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and continue for an additional 30 minutes on WMUR.com and on the mobile app. And now let's take a look at the places each candidate will be at. For Elizabeth Warren, these are the stops she will be going to. Buttigieg, these are the stops he will be going to. And right here as well. Williamson, and here as well, and here as well. And U.S. Rep. John Delaney right here. Claremont's Evelyn Cormier eliminated on American Idol. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Some sad news now. The American Idol journey is over for Claremont's Evelyn Cormier. The 20-year-old did not make it into the top 10 in tonight's episode. Cormier wowed the judges in her audition, though, gaining accolades for her unique singing style. She did great. American Idol will continue without Cormier Sundays and Mondays at 8 right here on WMUR. She did fantastic.
Oh, she did. She has such a unique voice.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. She was a great singer on American Idol. I loved her voice and the song choices she chose. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you right now and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Tuesday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for you this Tuesday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the green and went up. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow rises as earning session continues. Boeing gain on FAA software update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose on Tuesday as the corporate earnings session kicked into full gear while also getting a boost from Boeing shares. As Mueller report release nears, White House prepares robust response. While the President, Donald Trump, and the White House are uncertain about what exactly will be revealed in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report, when Attorney General William Barr clears its release to the public on Thursday, sources say they are preparing for aggressive response. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. And I'll be back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.